Hello, Divine Feminines. How are you? I'm not feeling all that great. Six of Swords, Justice. But let us give a reading here and see what is going on. Somebody seems to have something to tell you. They are being a bit slow about it. Interesting. Very interesting dynamic here. I get this feeling like there's going to be this big action, this big movement, and then what comes out of it's going to be like this little tiny message or this little tiny thing. Spirit, what do we need to know today about Divine Feminine, her healing journey, and the Divine Masculine and what's going on? Have you seen all of the kings that we've had here? Another page. Wow. There's a lot of regret about the stability of the past that someone gave up. Well, there we go. King of Cups, Three of Wands, Six of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles did kind of feel important yesterday. I don't know. I have this feeling that you, Page of Cups, King of Swords, that's the two cards that began the shuffle, right? King of Swords, again. I'm surprised King of Wands is not out here. King of Pentacles. So we have three kings. I get this feeling of exhaustion from the masculine that I've gotten for the past couple days of you seem to be investing in yourself, your growth, moving on. I feel like you have made this decision for happiness. That's making, there's our card. That's making him, look at that action, King of Pentacles. That's making him very, I don't know, the word they're giving me is disturbed. He doesn't want to feel disturbed anymore. He doesn't, interestingly enough, he wants to come to you. He wants to make motion. I think ideally he would like it if you made the motion, but I don't think you're going to. Because he has to speak what's in his heart. And there's our card from yesterday. Hermit. His heart is leading him. He's allowing himself to be led by his heart. But unfortunately for us, there's still some fear in his heart. Otherwise, the King of Cups would be upright. So you need to take that into consideration. Lemurian energy, law of attraction. No good thing shall be denied. Like attracts like. We're getting it. We're getting it, Spirit. Sagittarius energy. Virgo energy. Fool's gold. Prayer is always heard. there's a big emphasis here, the hologram. I was just making a video on this, none of which I liked. Sometimes I think you're talking to me. I crave you. Aligned action. Moon energy. Mercury energy. If I called, would you answer? I think he's been talking himself out of calling because he just is like, she doesn't care. It doesn't matter. I lost my chance. Oh. Panther spirit. She's a shadow aspect of the dragon. However, the messages in his heart won't leave him alone. And there's going to come a time when he has to take action. Maybe you felt this too, because that happens to us, right? It builds up and it builds up and you're like, no, that's my ego, no. And then all of a sudden you're like, I have to speak my truth, right? So there's an emphasis here on remaining playful. Look at that. That's crazy. There was a card from a different deck I put in here, and it's the Seven of Pentacles. So it's interesting because both this man and this woman have their eyes closed. And I really feel like it's this idea of focusing. So the video that I just made was about that the most powerful force in this universe is actually your focus. Your focus is, it's crazy how my videos always interact like that, like always overlap. So the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional planes always are reflected in the physical, but there's a lag, right? There's time. That's what people refer to as divine timing. You can't, it's called the mirrored principle, right? The hologram. We get conditioned to like want change, do change, and then like look in the mirror and try to see the change and then be disappointed. This is a metaphor when we don't see the change, right? We're like, we want more money in our bank account. We do. The way we've kind of been taught to do it is like take more action and make the to-do list and do the things and all of that. And we look and we're like, oh, there's no more money in my bank account. The mirror principle is like working on your spiritual, your mental, and your emotional bodies to reflect it in the physical. And that takes time, okay, is what it's really about. Otter. But the first step in that, starfish, is about understanding how very powerful your focus is, coyote. And that says trust in divine detours. And this says embrace the in-between worlds, and there's always enough, which is my card of abundance. So they want me to tell you that you are working on it. It is, I'm using a weird word, fruiting. It's coming to fruition, and don't keep looking at the physical because you're really making it take a lot longer. Oh. I'm sorry if my energy's down. I just do not feel well, but I decided I needed to do this because they kept telling me to do it. So, okay. To have red with the Chariot, it's a very, very strong energy. He doesn't seem to be coming from the heart, however. They kind of keep bringing this up. It's your I feel like he's coming more from the mind, right? Because we have King of Cups reversed with the King of Swords upright. And in his mind, I feel like he wants to kind of make something grand happen or have a grand message. I think it's going to come off a lot differently than he is intending it to. In fact, it may come off as weirdly cold when he's trying to mean it to be warm. So just take your time in understanding it and try not to like react from defensiveness, okay? So what is this amazing message that wants to come through here? I mean, here's the thing. The Nine of Swords reversed. In some ways, to me, it's like a denial of the pain. And pain is meant to bring us our own internal message that we aren't going in the direction of our higher self. I miss you. I play games on purpose. I think you are very talented. You fuel my creativity. I don't trust you. I wish you wouldn't push me away. I've been having regrets. I love your body. So, I do think there's going to be something around him revealing why he did things that he did that you've been wondering about. Like, why did it appear in some ways he played games with you? Why did he, I think, kind of make you look like the bad guy or blame you for pushing him away or do something that made you stay away from him, like sabotage, or not tell you the things that you were feeling were true? Like, if you did go to him and you did reveal something to him and he didn't reciprocate, I do feel from these cards that is intentional. And maybe you even sent him a I miss you text, or you said that to him on the phone, or there could be many, many things, right? A message of sorts that wasn't reciprocated. It does feel like there was a time in this relationship where he couldn't really see your value. He couldn't really even understand his own heart. And you may have felt that way too at certain points. But in his energy, when he was kind of doing the calculations here, it was in his mind. And it was like, there's two separate things that I'm getting. One is like, or maybe three. I'll never really get out of this what I put in. This isn't a good match. The other was like, what will people think? This was his fear. What will people think of this? This makes no sense. People will judge me or not understand. And also, his ego likes to look a certain way, or has liked to look in a certain way. And I think along this process, he has come to understand that what he felt was worth his investment and time was a reflection of how badly he kind of thought about himself. And this just seems like a breakthrough to me here, this thought. And that he really wasn't investing kind of like investing in his own downfall is what I want to say. Like, he realizes now that the stuff that he was investing in was reflecting his own like self-sabotage, his own emotional unavailability, as they're saying. And there is a certain recognition here about actually wanting to invest in something that doesn't feel like a giant burden, because he's realizing that he felt like a giant burden. And that's like an inner child wound, right? It's a beautiful message. Thank you, Spirit. It's also that energy of like, if you had parents and they were concerned like what their social group thought of them, what their social group or the neighbors or even their like extended family, if there was competition about who had a better house, who had a better car, who had more money, who could take better trips, who could have better clothes, all of this stuff, I felt like there was some sort of catch up in there. And him seeing now that his energy focused on that made it seem important, but it really never gave him anything. Oh, wow. Didn't expect that. I do feel like he's had a lot of recognition about the karmic. It's cute. I feel energy around Valentine's Day, but don't get your hopes up. I don't want to say that for everyone's getting a Valentine's Day date, but I do feel like there is a desire here. We have date and coffee cup, which is kind of cute because any of you that have been around my readings for a very long time, about a year ago, I had a very long period of time where coffee cup came out upright every day. And now we have date with coffee cup. And I find this kind of charming, to be honest. I feel like it's a little game that they're playing in a certain way of making fun of themselves. You know, I do think for some of you, this could start out with a casual little date. And that is honestly what Spirit is saying here, that it would be very good to have a short interaction, a very small interaction, playful, friendly, positive, seems to be the emphasis here. Where you don't go and get yourself triggered and you don't go and look for everything that you've been searching for the past however long in terms of an explanation. Just calibrating to the energy together would be enough for right now. Yeah, I mean, he's very much watching you. There is a little bit of a calculated energy here around, I want to get this right, which isn't a trusting energy. Like, I can feel that there's an edge of him, and obviously this is reflected in you, like you're reflecting each other, of wanting to be very attractive to the other. And I would almost say, try as much as you can to kind of avoid that. Like, you're gonna have to decide if you want this to be real or you want this to be fake, and what you want to get out of it. And it's important for you to know and understand if your ego is getting validated, or if this is a new, they're using the word venture. Okay, so the explanation they're giving is like a venture is where you both receive what you need, like equally. And like, really, you know, real. I feel like there's a choice here between acting out of ego or acting out of your higher self. And what you get out of this next kind of segment will be what you decide to really go lead with. You know, if you're seeking, so the important part here, and this is a very interesting, like, first line on this card, because it says have faith. And I said that they kind of lost faith, I think. But have faith into invitation or meeting. Surprise invitation or meeting. Love is coming. Hesitation. So there is something here about you receiving a surprise invitation. I don't necessarily think it needs to be from him. For some of you, and I hate to say this, it could even have to do with the karmic and something going on with them. If you're, you know, in that kind of, if they're in your sphere. For some, it may be, I want to say, like, something you don't expect, somewhere you are, or either like a party, something like that. Or somewhere he knows you will be. And I really don't like creepy messages, but he definitely may be watching your stories if you're posting somewhere you are. If you go somewhere a lot, like regularly, cafe, a gym, somewhere you walk, whatever, like that. So I don't feel like this meeting is accidental. I'll say that much. I do keep getting this message. So take it if it resonates. Leave it if it does not. Keeps coming through, and I kind of have tried to just be like, okay, it's not important. I feel like for some of you that somehow the karmic knows about you, has observed something, and either is kind of out to expose whatever, you know, they think's going on, or to, it's a real jealous energy of like, that's not your twin flame, I'm your twin flame, and that's your karmic. And figuring out, and they may not use those words, but it's like, there's definitely a feeling here that some of the karmics have a hand in some of this stuff. Okay? So just be aware of that. The karmic knows you are special, is really what's coming through here. And in a lot of ways, it's because the karmic, it's because the masculine's moving away from the karmic's energy, and the karmic feels that. And that's probably because in a lot of ways, you are moving away from the masculine's energy, and they can feel that. And so that mirroring is always there. And it's not, you can't fake it, because I 100% know that some of you have been like, I don't want to do this anymore, and yet you're still doing it. You're like, it's all the feelings still. Oh, I put that wrong card back in here. That's not where it goes. Okay. Let's look at some messages of healing from your higher self. I hope that message served you. Death, transformation. Things are changing on a cellular level, deep healing. Beautiful. I think this is such a beautiful death card. This is an oracle deck, not a tarot, but I kind of correlate them to the energies. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking it. Keep facing your true north. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Maybe some of you need a little vacation or just a day to go do something fun. Trust your path. If you knew what would be supported, what would you do? Right? That's about your focus, your energy, and where you put it to, and not leading with the money or the prestige. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Bottom of the deck. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So, another really beautiful card. You know, to me, that's kind of like your higher and lower selves. Get grounded, starseed, share your voice, warrior woman. So they want you to be brave in really asking what you want. What is it that you really want? And as your self-concept transforms here, because that's what that is, you know, she's kind of holding the caduceus. It's not the traditional caduceus, but it's like one side of it in her hand and a staff in the other. It's like you really need to ask yourself, what makes your vibration rise? What makes your energy soar? It's a second engagement card. So we have trust here, finances and career, your passion. I feel like these are all messages about interesting bottom of the deck. Okay, engagement, finances and career, trust, passion, and healing family issues. Okay, well, this is a really beautiful message. Do we have something like that in these cards? Let's see. Interesting, because they gave me the number 5. Call back your power, cut your cords, soul retrieval. You're kind of in a space right now that's very protected, like it's like a little bubble. I had a beautiful image come through in a private reading, and this is kind of what they're showing me now. It's not exactly the same, but you're in like a little bubble where there's this energy you can use to move forward. And what they're telling me is that they want you to take like the 5 main core concepts in your life. They're showing me Stonehenge, which is very funny. I know nothing about Stonehenge except like one day of the year, which I think, oh, okay, I see. Thank you, Spirit. I think it's the spring solstice. Correct me if I'm wrong. The light shines through. So they want you to make your own little Stonehenge, but in a circle. I don't know if Stonehenge is in a circle. They're saying like now until the spring equinox. There's a period of time for you. Getting chills all over my body. Whenever they gave me these kind of messages, it's just insane. to really ground what you want in your life. Like, really take the time to figure out, regardless of what anyone else does in your life or whatever happens, what is it you want in your life to be a part of your life? Like, you know, for me, one of them definitely would be creativity, and I don't really have a creative practice right now in a lot of ways. I would say like tarot and some of my business things are creative, but it isn't just pure creativity for the creative sake of it. And I think that's what they mean. It's like, yes, these things can be a source of income, and yes, these things can be different, you know, versions of what you want in your life, because those things are important, but they want your soul to feel like it is, that's a beautiful card to come out, they want your gift to the world to be your soul's expression and your legacy. And I feel like probably if you're anything like me, you have felt this desire to have legacy in your life come forth. I know Pluto was in my 8th house, so that was a very big part of that. And to see, so we've gotten 2 cards of receiving now, is that everything that you believe that you are, right, and you want to be, right, those desires are calling you for a reason from your higher self, from your soul, and to be this. So, okay, they're bringing up this thing about the masculine that, and really I don't want to make it about the masculine, but they're saying it will, if you can see how this fits in, it will help you, because this is learning like the twin flame journey, right? So many women are like, oh, the masculine has having so many problems. He's so, and they judge the masculine for what they're doing. And I get it, trust me. But you're judging yourself. So they're going to give you a really direct message here that you want the masculine's potential to be expressed into the world. You want the masculine to see their own potential. And that's what Spirit's trying to get us to do right here. It's like, in order for this masculine to express his potential, you're going to have to do that too. And it's weird for us to kind of see other people and be like, oh, they have so much potential, right? But inside us, we have our own potential that, you know, they're showing it to me in like a zipped up suitcase for some reason. And like, we carry this suitcase. They're showing me a card. I don't know why it was in the reading. We carry this zipped up suitcase with us and all of our baggage, and we drag this baggage around, and we're dragging the baggage as an excuse to not unzip our suitcase full of potential. And because it takes a lot of courage and vulnerability and trust to allow your gifts to come out into the world, right? You have all of these beautiful gifts, and you don't see them that way, because when we begin something, we begin as a beginner, and nobody like reveres the beginner unless they're like, whatever, 7 or something, you know, young. And especially as an adult, it's very, very challenging to begin. And they're saying many things here. They're saying, yes, it takes trust that you begin to unpack these gifts you were born with. And these gifts are part of your legacy. And your legacy may or may not leave a bunch of money, right? We think of that 8th house, that's the inheritance house. That's the house of really hard work. And then the 10th house is kind of your legacy. And those things are like, oh yeah, they worked really hard and they left me this big inheritance, right? But really part of what we leave our children or the world or our families, whatever it is, part of what we leave by being here is that whenever we choose to work on our own healing and our own development and trusting that we are, learning that we're good enough and taking off our masks, that we give the courage to someone else to do that too, or to see that it maybe isn't as scary as they thought it was. And we change the world for the better, right? All these cards right here are really about this death process, the death of, yes, we may have inherited some really difficult family dynamics. Our inner child may be carrying a lot of pain, right? Part of you already is in the process of like dismantling that. And they're saying like, part of keeping it in place are all the excuses that people make. Like, it's too expensive. It's too hard. I can't do it while I'm working. I can't, you can do it. You are supported. And they're saying even if it was 5 minutes a day, it would make a huge difference. And you're being led. Like, they want you to be more intuitive. They want you to trust this path. Part of you may get an opportunity to, you may be asked to like go on a retreat or take a little, holiday or something like that. And these things don't happen by accident, right? These callings that you feel, whether it's intuitively or physically, they're your soul giving you opportunities to move, okay? So find what you want anchored in your life. And if you can't, then make that your goal of finding these 5 things. Start with 1, and that you feel are really worth your life energy. And start, however you can, pursuing your potential, unzipping that suitcase, learning to trust your gifts, learning to work with where you are, what you have, right? This isn't, I need to change my whole life in one day. This is more of a longer vision supported by habits. And through doing this is a process of healing for you. Healing your inner child, healing your family lineage, healing the world. I mean, I know when you say heal the world, and then I say, we'll do 5 minutes a day. Even journaling is very powerful. when it feels aligned for you. I do sometimes, the recommendation comes through in readings to do the artist's way, which is a process of like free form writing in the morning. It's a stream of consciousness. I hope that was helpful. That was quite a long detour today, but a lot of you are asking, I think collectively brought this through, that how can I help the masculine fulfill his potential? And they want you to know that is the way. That's the way towards seeing whatever you want mirrored back to you in the physical, right? That's how we do it. We work on ourselves. And I'm gonna I guess we're gonna do 3 piles today. To get some advice and messages from our higher self. So I'll get 3 signifiers. Sorry. When I channel that hard, because that was really strong, it makes me really burpy. Okay, Abundia, Pele. I tell you, I cannot get away from those volcanoes, and Ishtar. Bottom of the deck is Guinevere, true love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. Well, that's like as beautiful as it gets right there. Okay, so we have pile 1 of prosperity. What do I want to put on there? I think I'm going to put rose quartz on there. The universe is pouring the abundance out to you. Be open for receiving. So that's the 3rd card of receiving. There's definitely gifts for you right now. Pele, divine passion. What do we want to use for this? I think I'm going to use this is a violet Lemurian crystal. Be honest with yourself, what is your heart's true desire? So that's what they really want you to know. Ask yourself. And then Ishtar, I'm going to use this. I want to say it's Super 7, but I don't remember. Boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others. Demands on your time and energy. And then we have balance, Boji stones on the bottom, which for me is very much a Libran card. And so soon, we're in Aquarius season, soon to be Pisces, and then we will have the Lunar New Year, the Astrological New Year, and we will be in Aries and have the Libra full moon. Archangel Michael on the bottom of the deck. Trusting heaven. You are safe, angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So that is a very beautiful message there. Dragons, bottom of the deck. So this is about technology and the World Wide Web. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. Some of you may be called to work online or somehow provide knowledge online to people in a higher vibratory state. I'm not going to use that one, but we'll read it on the bottom because it has some nudity on it. Okay. So emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. When it comes to matters of the heart, there's no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Okay. So pile 1, we have, wow, more volcanoes. So you may also want to listen to pile 2. Meditation is indicated for you as a spiritual practice. Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. These are very, very highly aligned cards. Air and fire dragon, expand your creative energies, harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm, communicate your passion. So extremely aligned to the messages that have been coming through. And then your legacy. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you've shared with those you've loved. Okay, so pile 2, which is Pele. The Master Teacher card of Ancient Wisdom crystal, Ancient Wisdom. So you may be feeling some kind of ancient Lemurian. I did pick the Lemurian crystal for this. Lemurian crystals have these little records on the side etched into them. And you can gain wisdom by reading them like that. Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy, and it is, I did pick the violet one too. I think it actually is Amethyst. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. Silver Lunar Dragon, bathes you in feminine divine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. Some of you may be called to create a cooperative something with someone else that is beneficial for humanity or your creative expression. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we may accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. And then Ishtar, fire agate, Freya, deep blue dragon, and look inside yourself. So you're called to express your creativity, and all of these can be called into your energy field while you meditate, or you can ask the entity to work with you energetically, or you can actually work with the physical manifestation of it. So I have been seeing a ton of crows lately. They've been playing a very integral kind of cleanup role, I want to say. Phases and cycles. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. I do think that the crow is a sign for you and is playing a part in leading you to where you want to go. Deep blue dragon keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. And then examine what is causing you to feel this way. Look inside yourself. So I hope these messages have served you. I really, really thank you for commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And also just letting me know when they resonate. It's really nice to hear, the synchronicities. And this journey does get lonely sometimes when we have to do that really deep inner work. And, it is an important line not to be codependent on people and to be able to be by yourself. But it also is reassuring that there are people out there who understand what we're going through and are going through similar situations. And I think that's a great thing, as long as you are doing your own work. And that's the important part, is learning how to really stand up and be this beautiful force that you are in the world. And in this world, it is very challenging sometimes. And, but through our spiritual and mental and emotional work, we can shift that. We can make this a place where, they want me to show you the golden healer, that we can have these healing frequencies as a normal part of our life, and our creative expression as a normal part of life, and our self-love as a normal part of life. And that's where they're saying is one of it's where these are going. Where's this is going is we are the leading edge and we are going first. And there's a big argument that that's not like creative expression in terms of art and stuff. It's already there, but they're saying this is a bit different for some reason. And I suppose we'll get into that next time. All right, thanks, bye.